Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into something wild. We are pushing right past the dense, noisy foliage of the mind to uncover ancient Taoist secrets, this intricate matrix of health that honestly feels almost like a biological time machine. We're exploring the profound concepts laid out in Dr. Stephen T. Chang's foundational work on the internal exercises of Taoism. And we're going to look at the human body not just as this mechanical machine made of flesh and bone, but as a deeply dynamic ecosystem of energy. But more importantly, we're going to explore how your own mind is the absolute ultimate tool to govern that entire ecosystem.
So let's reframe things right off the bat. We so often think of imagination as just, passive daydreaming. It's that thing you do to escape while you're waiting in line at the store or staring out a window. But what if your imagination is a literal control panel for your physical energy? The ancient Taoists figured out that specific, highly intentional mental movements, what we're going to call deep imagination today, can actively direct physical healing inside you. They understood something truly fascinating. The mind and the body, they are absolutely not separate entities. Think about the last time you really clearly imagined biting into a super sour lemon. Your mouth probably watered instantly, right? That is a tiny passive example of your thoughts triggering an immediate biological response. Now just imagine scaling that power up exponentially and actually taking the steering wheel. To really grasp this, we first need to look at the human body as a battery. And this human battery is made up of three vital parts. First, you've got the physical structure, your cells, your organs, bones, blood vessels. Second, the vital liquids, those intra and intercellular fluids that are totally necessary for generating electrical energy. And third, there's this invisible electrical charge known as qi, or the life force. Without this electrical charge, the physical structures and liquids just sit there, completely dormant. Now, here's the kicker. Every single time you move, or think, or digest food, or literally even just look at an object, you are spending this battery's charge. And if it depletes without being properly recharged, well, that's exactly when weakness and disease start to set in. Now, in our modern world, we usually think the best way to get healthy is to go run 10 miles on a treadmill until we collapse, or lift incredibly heavy weights until our muscles are just screaming. But according to these ancient Taoist principles, those grueling external exercises actually deplete your battery. They cause fatigue, they cause stress, and they can severely disrupt your delicate organic functions. They basically force your internal organs to work totally overtime just to recover from the workout. Internal exercises, on the other hand, are the exact opposite. They are specifically designed to heal and recharge our batteries. They rely entirely on deceleration, profound quietness, and a deep, deep internal focus. They protect those internal organs because those organs are your true frontline defenders against aging and disease. Okay, so here is the absolute crucial point. This is the hidden technology reveal of the whole system. Your thoughts are not just fleeting, invisible ideas. They are tangible energy. They're just vibrating at a different frequency than solid matter. Just like a solid rock is made of energy vibrating at a very dense, slow frequency, a thought is just energy vibrating at a much finer, faster frequency. This means your imagination isn't just all in your head. It has real physical weight and reality within the energetic ecosystem of your body. When you actively guide your imagination, you are quite literally moving real, tangible energy through your physical form. You are shifting the very gears in the machinery of your own universe. It's a total game changer. Let's zoom out for a second and look at the macrocosm. Ancient Taoists map the universe using this continuous, flowing matrix known as the five elements. Just think about how energy generates life in a continuous, unbreakable cycle. Wood burns to produce fire. Fire burns down and leaves behind ashes to produce earth. Deep within the earth, metal is formed. Metal attracts condensation to produce water. And finally, water nourishes the ground to produce wood again. The entire universe maintains its perfect, delicate balance through this dynamic, endless interplay of these five fundamental forces. But here's where it gets really interesting for us. This interconnected cycle, it isn't just happening out there in forests and mountains. It exists right inside of you. This entire matrix applies directly to the microcosm of our bodies. The heart aligns with fire, the spleen and pancreas align with earth, the lungs with metal, the kidneys with water, and the liver with wood. And because they are all intimately connected in that generative cycle we just talked about, an energy imbalance in just one single organ cascades through the entire system. The source material compares it to intricate clockwork. If you force one cogwheel to speed up,
say by taking some diuretic pill that forces the kidneys to overwork, the heart literally has to pump faster just to keep up. The gears jam. So, to be totally free of disease, all 5 of these elemental organs must remain in perfect harmonious balance.
So how do we maintain this crazy delicate balance? Well, the Taoists developed the 5 animal exercises. And listen, these are not about building thick, bulky muscles, not at all. They are entirely about utilizing deep imagination to stimulate these specific 5-element organs. By imitating the characteristic movements of the dragon, the tiger, the bear, the eagle, or the monkey, we can actually coax our diseased or stressed bodily parts back to their natural order. But, and this is a massive but, it's not just physical pantomime. You aren't just acting like an animal. The secret lies entirely in the technology of the mind. Let's really break down exactly how this is done.
Let's focus deeply on the monkey exercise because this is the perfect way for a beginner to truly understand how to operate this internal technology. Imagine you're starting out. You begin by physically miming the loose, agile, playful movements of a monkey. But that physical movement? That's just the starter motor. The true exercise is happening entirely in your mind's eye. To use deep imagination, you cannot just casually picture a monkey in your head. You have to literally feel it. You must fix your thoughts on the image with such incredible intensity that you feel the actual weight of the fur. You feel the spring in your step. You feel the hyper-alertness of the animal's spirit flowing right through your own veins. Now, as you do this, your brain is absolutely going to rebel. You'll suddenly think about your grocery list or, how silly you must look jumping around your living room or maybe that stressful email you got this morning. And here is the absolute, non-negotiable rule of this practice. The exact second your mind wanders, you must stop. Why? Because the physical pantomime alone does absolutely nothing for you. It's the intense, unbroken mental image, vibrating at that precise energetic frequency that acts as the actual key to unlock and stimulate your organs. Deep imagination is the conduit. It is literally pulling cosmic energy into your physical form and directing it exactly to where it needs to heal. And that brings us to the absolute core principle of this whole thing, mind-body unification. When you drop that intense image of the monkey to think about what you're making for dinner, the connection breaks instantly. The physical movement creates the pathway, sure, but your intense, concentrated imagination is the electricity actually traveling through it. When your mind and body are absolutely synchronized, when you literally are the monkey in both thought and motion, there is no separation whatsoever between your thought of healing and the physical reality of your cells regenerating. Your active imagination completely ceases to be just a daydream. It becomes a highly targeted biological laser. It physically channels healing energy right into the organs. It's practically magic, but it's just biology and energy working together perfectly. Mastering this internal technology grants you this incredible, almost bulletproof inner vitality. It provides an actual immunity against energy depletion, finally pulling you out of that endless cycle of fatigue and stress that so many of us are just permanently trapped in. By realizing that your thoughts are actual forms of energy with literal physical weight, you gain the ultimate control panel for your health, your mood, and your lifespan. Which leaves us with one final, absolutely vital question to ponder today. If a thought is a physical reality, what reality are you going to build today?